Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Myst Masterpiece Edition. No, realMyst Masterpiece Edition, the newest one, whatever it's called. We're running out of light, sadly. The day-night cycle actually occurs even if you don't have the window up. It doesn't pause. Uh, how it actually works, I don't know. But it seems like for an hour you get sunlight, and then for an hour straight you get darkness. I want to come back over here because there's a couple of things as far as achievements that we didn't get. So I didn't make it to the crow's nest. So we need to try that again. Switch to free roam mode because that's the only way to, I think, get any of these is to go to free roam mode. And I guess I can't be on this point and go to free roam mode. Maybe that's certain spots it seems like you just can't switch back and forth, which makes little to no sense. So we had thought that it was walking up this way to get to the crow's nest. It must actually be a little bit more complicated than that. Yep, it is. As we can see here, there is more to it. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. This seems like a mess. Just a total mess of how you're supposed to do this. Hmm. Why these are achievements when I would call them glitches, I don't know. I would say this is more of a glitch than an achievement. This is something, somebody who should be applauded if they got it to work, but not a requirement. And it's certainly not this. It's not like you can just click here in free roam mode. Hmm. This seems so strange. But this is what it says you're supposed to do. How much time should I spend on this? All of my sunlight time, or some of my sunlight time, or none of my sunlight time? It would make more sense if you could jump. It would make so much more sense if you could jump. But you can't. And where are my feet right now? In the air. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. This doesn't feel fun. This feels like just a dumb thing to do. And I don't think I can walk on that rope. So, again, it feels like this is the right rope. Hmm. Am I standing on the rope? No. It's ridiculous. It's not something like this, though. There's no regard for gravity going on here at all. Maybe it is. I guess slowly. I could have sworn the instructions told me to do something different. Here we go. Here's the Mythbusters. Sam and Jamie and Adam were here. Sorry, not Sam. Mythbusters is now recently cancelled. This is also a reference to Riven. So I guess they were Mythbusters fans. So that's one achievement. The other achievement is also over here, oddly enough. So I gotta quickly run over here. Maybe by traveling to this area, I'll get the sun back, because it's always rainy and dark over here. Now, it's stupid to want to get achievements in general. I always have to give this speech. I am obsessed with them very much as a personality flaw. I wish I wasn't. Particularly on Steam, it doesn't matter. You don't get any kind of gamer score associated with achievements, so the more achievements you get doesn't add up to anything. The only thing it will do is that there is one small place on your profile on Steam where it highlights the number of games you've gotten 100% of achievements done. So that just, in my mind, makes a very simple dividing line in which either the game feels like I can get them all and I'll try to get them all, or the game feels like, no, that's never going to happen, so that's all we had to do. This is the achievement 2, just clipping over this plant. It's like, it doesn't even make sense. You have to look up, pan up, and move forward. And hopefully that gave it to me. If it didn't, at the very least, I will get it at my own leisure time. There are a couple of ones that require you to do things perfectly the first time. I'll put save points in front of those. We'll probably run into those in the next recording. Probably only have like 3 recordings left. Surprising me quite a bit. I guess in my mind, Myst has somewhat blurred into Riven, and like I still probably couldn't do Riven, but the entire Myst series is kind of blurred in my mind, and I think if they were going to make a remake, they probably should put all the good elements from all 5 of the games together and make a like 60 to 120 to 250 hour game, and make it easier though, so it probably doesn't take that long. So we ended last recording, we got the clue 724, like 24/7. Easy enough to remember that. Let's go back to our classic mode now. So I assume that is a safe combination to the safe that is over here. I bet that is always a combination too. Unless they change something in the realMyst Masterpiece Edition. I would heavily suspect that there's not been any like randomization elements added. Here we can turn this all we want, and it's not doing anything. Here's the safe. So 724. Not impossible to brute force this if you didn't know the code. Of course, there's no other place where you'd find it. And we get a match. And what's strange is this is the only time you pick up anything besides the what are they called? What is this, by the way? Is that like a three-eyed? Is that a three-eyed creature or some kind of decorative piece or a piece of metal? It's just a piece of metal. Interesting. Looks kind of like a spider. So, I guess what we want is to adjust this. See, we can see we're adjusting the propane lower, but we've got the pilot light going. And we can't go any further that way. So let's go out and see what we're manipulating. We have this tree that is in a conspicuous place. We can see it's up that way, and it's set up higher than everything else. And we see, I already know what's going to happen, but in case you don't, we see over here a picture of the tree. So let's turn this all the way up and see what happens. It's an elevator in the tree. Now, there's a couple of achievements here with this elevator as the tree goes higher and higher and higher. There's a achievement for it to go to ride it, I think, down. I think there's an achievement to ride it up to the surface, and I think there's an achievement to ride it all the way to the top. So I'll try to get them all. So we need to start losing pressure, but kind of slowly, and then quickly work our way this way so we can hop on. It doesn't look so good without the flashlight. It looks a little bit better with the flashlight. Just needs lighting everywhere. Everywhere in this game needs lighting. One more clunk, and in we go. Notice there's a button here, which I assume solves getting back. And so you see all these other trees here in this underground area. So what does the button do? Nothing? Let's see. So we'll walk out to the surface. That should be one achievement. Playing with this. There we go. back down. It's taking forever. I didn't turn the thing down low enough. Any one of these puzzles could easily be missed. I feel like this puzzle in particular could be easily missed if you just didn't look around the world enough. There's too many trees, too many hills in this map. That's something I would say the Witness probably did better by far, is just mostly directing you towards all the puzzles you should see. You were never really in a scenario where it's just like, I can't find a puzzle. You certainly were in scenarios in both games where you didn't know the solution to the puzzle. Can't walk forward until that thing is all the way down. So. You can see on the wall more paintings of trees. So we're going to enter, if you haven't figured it out, a very nature area, very wood area with lots of trees. Maybe that's where the pirate ships got built from. It's actually, I guess, when you compare the other areas, a kind of a stand apart from the other worlds, because it's not going to have any mechanical things like the Mechanical Age. It's not going to have any mechanical things like the Stonehearth Age. It almost feels like, here we are, and I can't move left or right because of the fact that I'm in a in an elevator. We've seen multiple elevators now, at least a couple of them. 3, I think. I would have, if I was making Myst today, I would have definitely wanted more ages, more worlds, bigger worlds with more things in them. Not, let's see, let's go ahead and walk out just in case that is something part of the achievement. Interesting. Interesting, it's going back up all by itself. I kind of wish there was more Steam-based logic. Ding, ding, ding. There we go, that should be fast enough to move quickly now that I've done all the achievements. Feels like we're getting sunlight again, which probably isn't even going to matter because when we go in the next world, it's probably going to be a set style of lighting and weather. Come on. What Myst really doesn't even attempt to do is for there to be solutions that weren't thought of by the creator of these worlds. So, in a lot of point-and-click adventure games, which this almost qualifies as a point-and-click adventure game originally, although I'd say it's a little bit more than that too. But in a lot of point-and-click adventure games, you would push a dead tree over that happened to be there. You would get lucky, and that would be your solution. Here, every single solution seems very specifically placed by whoever built everything in all of these worlds. You never seem to have a lucky break. It seems to all be planned. It seems to all be a puzzle. basically the father came out directly and said it was all a puzzle to begin with, which is fine. It's just kind of simplistic. It would have been better if half of them were puzzles and then half the puzzles were broken and you had to find ways around them. So here we go. I believe this realm is called Channelwood. We'll save and find out just to be certain. I wish they called them realms instead of ages. There is a mod for... Ooh, that's nice and bright. There's a mod for Minecraft called Mystcraft that never quite does what I want it to do. But it sort of follows the idea. It goes its own ways with it, though. So here we are in a swamp, nice and bright. We have some switches that I suppose we should turn. I'm not sure if they are connected to anything right now. Are we gonna lose our sunlight real quick? I don't know. There's some forks here on whatever these pipes are, too. Now, there's only 3 quests here. That feels like that's some kind of sound speaker or something. We're trying to find the 2 pages, the red and blue pages, and we're trying to find the book back. After we've done that, as far as we know, there's nothing more to do here. It does look rather lovely, but rather small too. This area looks very similar to an area in Myst. Let's see. If I think about all the areas in the Witness versus Myst, there's a few that are new, but a lot of them are just direct homages, which is fine. I mean, Myst is a 20-year-old game. If you can't do an homage to a super popular, really old game and try to do it better, then the video game industry is not going anywhere ever. So we've got a windmill here that I assume is going to be our power generator. And so that's where we should probably start. And then we'll have to play with switches to move them around. So we have water. And the windmill is on the pump. And over here we have some rusty pipes getting water. So it's almost a steam age. Oh yeah, that's right, I was gonna save. So we'll overwrite that first save. Channelwood is the name of it. It's kind of on the nose since we have different channels of water flowing through this. Some kind of hydraulic power. Starting to get a little darker. It would be nice if there were some leaks in these pipes. It's going this way. If there were leaks in the pipes, that would be very helpful to show which way the water is going. And apparently this is not getting power or something because that gate is closed. Now, while there is a lot of different perspectives, and in any regular free roam world, this would be fine. In a puzzle game, being able to see this and look at this angle will just be everything on screen here right now is a red herring. It's like you don't need to see any of it. You need to be looking this way so you see this item. And that's, I feel like, why a lot of games could learn from that if you're making a puzzle game, is you've got to constrain the view. You've got to help the player see what he's supposed to be doing. This gate is still down, so there must be more to it. We hear frogs making noise. Is that a hint? See, I don't hear any water there, so that probably is a great indicator that the water is going the other way. And yet it's not working. Also makes sense. This is blocking the right way. So we've got to go more this direction. I think the audio is supplying a decent hint. This one, and then it's going this way, and then it's going this way, and when it hits here it just goes in the water, and we can hear it flowing still. So switch this. Notice you do drag this one. Lots of things you don't drag and just click on. This thing you do drag. It seems a little strange. You can hear the water flowing. There we go. And we've opened a new platform. So that's got to be helpful for something, at least. I see an elevator over here, and I see a crank over here to extend it. Interesting. It would have been nice if there was a break that showed why that other gate wouldn't work. Nope. So we've got to power this to get up to the top of the trees. Now, even though this is kind of nature-y in a lot of ways, it's still got electricity, it's still got power. So maybe those are things that the father brought to every age he went to. Maybe not. It's hard to tell. It's also hard to make the argument that Channelwood here is somehow a different time but the same place, or at least the exact same place as Myst Island. That just doesn't connect either. It certainly could be the case. It just doesn't feel likely. That's not the right way. Just gotta backtrack. Now, this could have been a thing that required perfect manipulation to get an achievement. If it was, I've blown that, and it wouldn't be that difficult to start a new game and reach that. Let's see. Can we... Sounds like that generator's working. Interesting. So, we've seen several elevators. I imagine these areas up here aren't connected. Or they'll seem connected and not actually be. So there's only two ways to go here. Forward and back. Less frogs sounds. This could be an incredibly complex sound puzzle. I don't remember. I'm not sure that there actually is much of a puzzle here. It may just be about manipulating yourself and getting from point A to point B. Getting through this maze. It is kind of a small world, though. They all have been. By modern comparisons. It would be so easy to use some of the pre-made assets of Unity or Unreal and just fill a world full of things that makes it feel alive but don't really connect to the puzzle. Would that make a good Myst game? Almost certainly it wouldn't. Almost certainly it would be a nightmare if that was the case. I'm all over on this map. By the way, I'm all over this place. I think each one of these is probably just on an unimportant little hut. You would assume this is some kind of fishing culture, or maybe they just drink water or grow plants in the water. It seems like they only get big fish if those baskets are fishing nets. But they must really love outside because there's no bathrooms, there's no walls. There's nothing like that at all. Over here you see just bowls and tables. Obviously, of course, in the original Myst, they were limited severely by a small staff, and they couldn't just fill the worlds with things like you could today. But that's to the advantage of these because these puzzles don't explain themselves at all. You don't know what's important and what isn't until you've played the game once, and I'm just speeding through this game. I'm totally just running through it like a marathon, for me at least, probably not for any other person. Right. This is interesting. Does this go up, or does it go down? Doesn't go anywhere. And then this section feels like it's been blocked off. Maybe I need to go and put power to that area, because we know those two areas are... I think I know where that area is down below, and then that elevator will take me up to a higher place. That seems like that would be a logical thing to do. Also should check out this area, because the round ones we know there's nothing in them. At least it seems that way. But the square ones might have something. Now I came this way. If I'm correct, it should be only a couple of intersecting nodes this way. See that area? I wonder if you can reach that. course, it would be really terrifying if somebody just appeared right now. Even shadow plays, like with the flashlight, could really get you scared if I didn't absolutely know with 100% certainty that it's just never going to happen in this game. It's not a horror game. I played a game, and I guess this is somewhat a spoiler, but I played a game called Gone Home, and I played it the whole time thinking it was a horror game, because it certainly lets you believe that if you want to believe that, and scared myself with anticipation the whole time, and uh, nothing ever scary ever happens in the game. I tortured myself on that game. I was like, alright, where's the jump scare? I'm expecting the jump scare, and it just never came. That's not what the game's about. So, yes, this is where we started. If I have to have the door closed. So we have this gets us up there. And this one goes across to the other one. So let's switch the water here. Come on. Now I've got to run quite a far distance. This is where a free roam in which I could swim or walk just in a straight path would be so much more helpful right about now, instead of having to stay on the path to follow the water pipes. If you consider that this whole world could have been flat like wood, and you could have just walked around, and then the water pipes could have specifically been unmovable but set in the same sections, that would help move around while not changing the puzzle at all. This should work now. And interesting, we found the Myst book. So totally possible to find the Myst book. Of course, we need to get one of the pages at least. Actually, we want to get both of them. So the puzzle to go home was literally just extend the pipe and raise the bridge. A really, really small amount of actions necessary. Sure hope I didn't miss an achievement here, but that's fine. If I did, I can get it later. We hear water here. We hear water here. Still hearing water here. Still hearing water here. But getting that gate to open seems like that's going to be the difficulty. I think I need the electricity to go up the elevator, don't I? Like right here. Right now the electricity is turned off. So if I can go up this elevator without it turned on. Nope. That's what I thought. So there has to be some kind of switch that opens the doors up there to the spiral stairs, and I just missed it. The door needs to be shut to get in the elevator. I can't shut it and send it back down and get trapped. Now if my mental mapping is correct, and it doesn't seem like it is, this is not the right way. A two-dimensional maze is an interesting concept, but I have to say the Witness certainly did a lot more with this type of area than what Myst did. We've already found the exit. We already know where to go. We just need to figure out how to get there. I still am just like uncertain if you can ever reach this box. There's a lot of games that are getting remakes today. Doom, certainly very successful in its remake. I could certainly see a remake of Myst being very successful. I don't know how much of it you can remake though. I think you just have to take the characters and the story and that's it. I think you probably don't do full motion video. You instead animate it so it looks like we do all games. We animate them so they look real instead of doing full motion video of actual real people. Interesting that we can go and look here. How can we open this gate? We've got to get this open. And how would we get this to open? What would... What would leaving the door open do? What would... Doesn't seem like it would do anything. Is there some section I'm not seeing? Because I feel like I've been everywhere. And it's not something like in free roam mode. None of the solutions, besides the Easter eggs, the achievements, require free roam mode. And we know that there's a area somewhere here for both of the brothers, because it would make no sense whatsoever that this would be the one age in which they don't have at least a bedroom. I guess it makes sense that you would hide the... If you were the father and you were hiding the red and yellow pages, it would make sense of a sentimental value. Specifically if you were hiding it for your wife, to hide it in the bedrooms and the places that your kids would have stayed, because that sentimental knowledge would then help her and not help anyone else. Yeah, that actually kind of makes a lot of sense. It's getting darker, darker, darker. There's a lot of separation in these puzzles too. You never pick up like an item. The only item you use is the match in the entire game, but you don't pick up items and then use them for some other reason, or use them in an area that's far away. I'm trying to click here and see if there's something. What if we split the water this direction and went this way? We still hear the water. And then we went this way. And then we have this connection here. We still hear water this way. And do we still hear water this way? No, we don't. Come on. And you have this one, just the water just goes down into it. Let's see, that doesn't make enough sense. Back we go towards the source. Switch this. It's getting really, really dark to be doing this game in the dark. What if we went back to the very beginning here and reset things and blew it? That's about the only thing I can imagine we could change. I don't see a switch at the top. I don't see a switch at the bottom. So back up this direction we go. What happens if we click this? And what happens if we do this? And what happens if we do this? Seems like that switch doesn't do anything. We're getting this strange bluish look on here. There's just no handle here. And there's just not going to be any source of power otherwise. So when we come over here and try to use this, I don't think it has the power to go up. And there's any number of paths I could try to send power to. But unless it's one of these ones in the ground that seems like dead ends, it doesn't seem like there's a reason. Like, this could be the solution, or perhaps this is the solution. But neither one of that makes any sense. And how you would figure that out makes even less sense. Let's run to this elevator that's the exit elevator and see if we can even exit the world without power going to it. I may have to look up the solution here, honestly. I don't remember it, and it's not coming forward easily. Every single instinct in my head tells me that I should just find a switch somewhere up on the second floor. Some switch that would have opened that gate. And once that gate was opened, I should have been able to direct power to the elevator and gotten to the third floor that I assume exists. And well, we know exists, there's an elevator. It's gotta go somewhere, doesn't it? But I don't see the switch. And we haven't had a puzzle so far be problematic about finding the solution. They've all been very good about pointing us to it. Hey, look! Seems like the sun may be coming up. Maybe. Maybe I just shined the flashlight. So if I do like this and go this way, is there anything there? No. Didn't think so. And even if there was something there, unless it temporarily, I mean permanently, actually opened the gate, that doesn't help. Let's see. This one needs to be switched this way, then walk back this way. So that goes to this, and down this direction, and just into the tree, back into the water. So switch this back. So dark. So dark. Is that gonna somehow help me find the solution? Being in the darkness? Can't turn around, can't look anywhere. When I walk out here, I can't hit a button or anything like that. If there was a way to divert the switches up here, it would make sense. Actually, it would make quite a bit of sense if that was the case. In several different ways. Why would you want to create a pipe system that runs your elevators and then have all that at the bottom when you live at the top? The fact that they live in the trees probably means this world is, at least at one time, full of nasty, huge fish creatures. That would be my guess. Something that could jump out of the water and do major amounts of damage. It's kind of lovely, but it's really, really dark. Well, wait a minute. There's a halfway point here. Yeah, but it doesn't allow for anything. If there is some button or something to click, is I'm not going to be able to see it in this darkness. I'm just wandering blind. Hey, here's a switch we've missed. Now we've got the gate working, finally. So, I missed that thing. Alright. So, we will check what achievements I didn't get while off screen and see if there's any I missed or made a mistake on, if there was some trick there. And then we'll come back here and start next recording with the well, right where we are basically, but with the good chance of seeing the red and blue pages. There's 4 more, 2 red, 2 blue. We're gonna get 2 here, and that's, goodness man, a lot of clicking here to go down this spiral thing. We're getting that frog some more. Pull that, doors open, and now everything is set well. I think also what would be very helpful is if I sat here for a little while and hope that the sun came back out, but no guarantee. If I had known this game was only going to take about 7 hours, I might have considered taking breaks, but I am certainly pressed for time, quite pressed for time, so I don't think I probably would do that anyways. Anywho, in the darkness, we call it a recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.